Good morning. I am so disappointed that I cannot join you today at this year's Michigan Response to Hate Conference. The Michigan Alliance Against Hate Crimes is an important part of our collaborative effort to protect the civil rights of every resident of Michigan. For almost 30 years, the Michigan Department of Civil Rights has joined with the U.S. Attorney's offices for the Eastern and Western District of Michigan to establish a coordinated statewide effort against hate crimes. This conference is one of the highlights of the year for me in my office. I was inspired last year hearing how the families of Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. turned their pain and heartbreak into action to help give us more tools to prosecute and prevent hate crimes. I am sorry that I am not there with you today to hear from the inspiring speakers that the conference planning team has put together for you this year, but my office is well represented with staff from my executive team, Victim Witness Unit, Civil Rights Unit, and Public Corruption and Civil Rights Unit. Civil rights remains one of the highest priorities of my office and the entire Department of Justice. When I was granted the honor of becoming the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan, I committed to reinvigorating our office's civil rights practice, which had long been recognized as a leader among U.S. Attorneys' offices. I added additional resources to our Civil Rights Unit and renamed our Public Corruption Unit as the Public Corruption and Civil Rights Unit to emphasize our priorities in protecting the community from hate crimes and other criminal civil rights violations. With these renewed priorities, our office has been working in earnest to protect our community. In 2024, our Public Corruption and Civil Rights Unit obtained a guilty plea from a former police officer for using excessive force on an arrestee, indicted a Florida man for making hate crime threats against the Council on American Islamic Relations Michigan chapter, and charged a Warren man with federal hate crime offenses for defacing a predominantly black church and a public park bathroom. Our Civil Rights Unit has been similarly busy. The Civil Rights Unit obtained a historic settlement with the Wayne County Jail to ensure that inmates with disabilities receive the services and medications that they need, protected a child from disability discrimination at a local public swimming pool, and stopped a predatory landlord who was sexually harassing tenants and prospective tenants. Our commitment to civil rights has not been limited to our casework. We have continued our work as part of the Department of Justice's United Against Hate initiative, which is aimed at preventing hate crimes and incidents through education and awareness. Part of the strategy of United Against Hate is to bring together community groups and law enforcement at every level to work together to build trust and strengthen coordination to combat unlawful acts of hate and to improve the reporting of hate crimes and hate incidents. To date, my office has presented the United Against Hate training to approximately 800 individuals in 10 trainings in Detroit, Dearborn, Flint, Ann Arbor, Port Huron, East Lansing, and Plymouth. Our office has also worked with the Department of Justice's Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, COPS, to bring specialized training to local law enforcement in investigating hate crimes. We provided this training to over 60 local law enforcement officers from approximately 10 different police departments this year. We have plans to offer a Train the Trainer module next year so that we can provide this training to even more police officers. Our civil rights work depends on partnerships. None of the work that I mentioned could have been accomplished without the cooperation of local law enforcement, community organizations, and our friends at the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. That is one of the great things about the Michigan Response to Hate Conference. That is, that it gives us all an opportunity to gather together, share best practices, and renew our shared commitment to protecting the community from hate crimes and hate incidents. I'm sorry I missed you this year on what I'm sure will be another wonderful event. I look forward to seeing you next year.